Derrik Walker, looking for his first Champ Car Series win since 1999. The Champ Car season begins in Las Vegas, and Will Power is the winner.
Reliving Walker Racing's most recent success as Derrik Walker joins us live. Let's go back a bit into history, Derrik. It would be easy to assume that you missed your potentially greatest moment as a car owner by 43 thousandths of a second, as a matter of fact. 1992 Indy 500, your driver Scott Goodyear losing to Al Unser Jr. by that closest margin in history. My experience is that racers tend not to look back, but I wonder if that one eats at you at all.
You're right. Racers don't look back, and I don't look back at all. I mean, I think if you look back at that time, we were just barely in our second year as a team, and to be racing up front on that particular day, considering everything that went on, I think we were pretty surprised to be where we were. But it'd be nice to redo it again and win the race, but that's not going to happen, so we'll just move on and try to win the next one.
Spoken like a true racer. He started 33rd that day, for those who have forgotten. I want to go to the phones. I've got Matt on the line from Denville, New Jersey. Matt, you're on with Derrik Walker. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Dave? Derrik?
Good.
My question is regarding the split that happened with Champ Car and IndyCar. I want to know what his take would be on getting things back together, because I'll tell you, I was a huge fan of the IndyCar series back in the late 80s and early 90s before the split. And since that has happened, it's been very difficult to get back into the racing with either series now, the way things are going. I just want to know what your take on that would be.
Derrik?
Well, Matt, I think we all share the pain. When you look at open-wheel racing in America, it is a divided series. If you put the two halves together, I don't think anybody would disagree it would be the best of the best. We live in hope one day that'll happen, but unfortunately, Matt, if you ask me, I think it probably comes down to trust. People need to share power. We need to bring both entities together, and there needs to be a power sharing. So there's a certain amount of trust when you go down that road that you're going to be able to coexist as harmoniously as you need to do to make the decisions for the series. At the moment, we don't appear to have that trust because we haven't moved forward. I just hope they keep talking. I think as long as we keep talking, there's always a chance. But right now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon.
You became a car owner during what many would consider to be the pinnacle of CART, Championship Auto Racing Teams, and I presume you sat in the meetings when you were talking with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway president, Tony George. Those broke down. The split came about. Can you sum up what caused this thing to happen that's been so damaging to the sport?
Well, Dave, if I think about one particular thing that sort of sparked it all off, I'd have to think back to the time when Champ Car, well, CART as it was then, was really getting going places, and the team owners were talking, that too many ovals, why do we have to spend a whole month of May at Indy, how expensive it is. And I would have to have thought that Tony must have thought that, this isn't going to happen. We can't lose all these ovals. We can't have people not coming to the month of May to Indy. And I really believe that he thought that he needed to protect the Indy 500 and to create a series that was predominantly all oval. And I really do think that was a sort of the beginning of the end, so to speak, that really started to drift apart when he decided to do his own series.
Let me ask you about the Champ Car Series. You've been tremendously loyal to that series and continue to be so. What's your assessment of its health at this point? I mean, acknowledging that putting them together would be better, how is the Champ Car half of the pie performing, if you will?
I think it's doing better. Each year it gets better. A lot of people have talked about the strength of the numbers of the field, the grid numbers. if you look at this year, we've all had to go out and buy new cars and buy all new equipment, and I think that's slowed us down a little bit. There isn't just as much money as there was to run these cars because we're all buying new equipment. So I think once we get over that hill, things will get better. But I think Champ Car's doing quite well. But I don't believe it's going to jump up there anytime soon. I think it's going to take several years of continuous investment and loyalty of all the team owners to stay with the product and keep at it, because it's going to take a while to build it all back up again.
In a word, will that happen? Do your colleagues have the commitment long term to pull that off?
Well, they appear to. If you look what they've done to date and what they continue to do, I think you'd have to say they do. They're very passionate about it, and the shame of the thing is the Champ Car product is really very good. I mean, I'm biased because I'm in the series, but I've been in both series, and I have to say the specification of the cars and the way the series is run, I think is very, very good. So I think if they just keep persevering with it, and we get a little bit more people interested in the sport and come to our races, more people watch us on television, then we'll get the money coming back, and I think the series will be on its way. But there's no doubt, without the Indy 500 or oval racing combined with Champ Car, that would be the best of the best. So we can have it better, and we will get it better, but I think until we're all one big series, I think it's going to be tough for either series really to compete against NASCAR, and let's face it, that's what we're trying to do in every weekend we go racing.
I again appreciate your being here tonight, Derrik, and from this conversation I will take a bit of encouragement to the leadership of both series. Your word, trust. They need to learn to trust each other. Thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Just a quick